You ever just wonder about the state of modern gaming? Dude, modern gaming has changed so much, and people all over the internet are saying that gaming is dying. Now, I don't necessarily believe that gaming is dying necessarily. Gaming has certainly fallen into a deep, dark pit, a dark age, a an age where we have forgotten how to make good games. Games are no longer fun. They need to be competitive, like Overwatch. That's like the big thing that killed Overwatch was pursuing esports artificially instead of following the method that's Counter Strike followed, which was at first it started as as its own thing by a grassroots community, but no, Blizzard had to essentially kill Overwatch, and even then, it failed. They're not even doing it anymore, pretty much. Not that I know of. Another problem with gaming nowadays is just the rampant microtransactions. Now, again, as someone who is a big fat nerd and plays gotcha games, I am fine with microtransactions to a certain degree. Like, if the game is free itself, okay. But if it's like a Ubisoft game, oh my god. Ubisoft is like one of the most fucking egregious ones. Microtransactions. Like, if you go to any, like, recent Ubisoft game, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Odyssey, you'll be bombarded with the market. Bombarded with all the shit that they want to sell you, even though you bought the game for like $60. Though nowadays, I don't know who buys Ubisoft games full price anymore. It's more like bargain bin shit. Like, that's how I got like Watch Dogs. It's like I bought for like $5 during a Steam winter sale. It's like, who the fuck buys a Ubisoft game full price anymore? You gotta be really dumb to do that. Oh, dude, it's terrible. Then later on, then there are other games, where it's like they started out good, but they became really shit. For example, fucking Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six was like one of my go-to games. Like, I remember when I was a kid and bought that shit. It's like, shit, I'm feeling old now talking about that, because it's like, damn, was it really that long ago that happened, that game got released? And like, was it 20? Yeah, it would be like 10 years ago, because it's 2025 now. It will have been 2015 then, and I bought the game day one. Dude, Rainbow Six was one of the funnest games ever, bro. Like, the competitive, like, combat, like, just the tactical shooting, the breaking of all the shit around you. It was fantastic. It was like some of the coolest gameplay you could ever have with it. You blow up shit, you like do depth charging with the grenades, but now it's fucking ruined. They ruined it. Why? Because for whatever reason, the devs just hate fun. They hate creative gameplay. Like, they've actively told the player base that they've been playing the game fucking wrong. Wrong. Like, oh, you're not allowed to cook grenades. Like, they removed the ability to cook grenades, and they think that like gun fighting is like bad for the game. Like, you can't have a good character, a good operator that has a good gun and a good gadget. No, it has to be one or the other. They have to have a dog shit weapon or a dog shit gadget. Even though that's not even realistic thinking, because there's only such a skill ceiling for gadget use. Like, how the fuck are you going to balance Rook? He puts down a little bag of armor plates that makes it easier to like absorb more damage. Like, you slightly absorb more damage and you're going to get downed more likely, so you don't die instantly. Like, how you do that? How do you how do you balance that? You can't. And what they did in order to deal with that in their just insane logic They decide to make every gun worse to feel, to shoot, and to play with for the sake of balance. That's stupid. That's one of the most stupidest fucking things I have ever heard. Why would you do that? Why would you ever fucking do that? So, it's been like several years since I last played Siege, and I go back and I'm looking at it just to see how it is, and I'm bombarded. It's the same thing, the same Ubisoft slop. The market. There is so much shit that's like Rick and Morty characters. Are you fucking kidding me? This is supposed to be a serious tactical shooter. Like, I love the Tom Clancy stuff, like, because it usually takes itself pretty seriously, but now it's just a fucking joke. It's a joke. I want my tactical game where I got to be, like, cool, badass special operators and shoot shit. Now they got Rick and Morty? What? Now they got Master Chief? What? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like... and I understand why people like nowadays are saying gaming is dead, but it wasn't always like this. I vividly remember playing like the Ratchet and Clank games when I was younger, and those games were good. Those games were fantastic. But nowadays, like more modern Ratchet and Clank, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but it's not the same as it was in the past. And Call of Duty. Oh, don't even get me started on Call of Duty. Like, the shooter, the FPS to play. Damn, man. It's fallen. It's fallen on hard times. Like, I know people still play them, because I think Call of Duty's just not going to die ever, because people still play it, because they still like the base game mechanic of shooting. But, Call of Duty is just not the same as it was when I was playing it, because I played Black Ops, I played MW2, MW3, and some people criticize MW3, but I don't think MW3 was bad. Like comparing all the rest of the CODs after that, and I'll be honest, I played Call of Duty Ghosts. It was unique because it was trying to compete with Battlefield 4, but unfortunately I think Battlefield 4 was doing just way better than Call of Duty Ghosts, but I don't think Call of Duty Ghosts was necessarily bad. They had a lot of interesting ideas with like some of the like kill streaks and support streaks, which they carried over from like MW3, pretty much like the support kill streaks, which was pretty cool. I liked using them. But yeah, ever since then, it's just COD's just never been the same. It got pretty good back then with like the revival of the reboot of Modern Warfare, but I kind of feel like it's still like sort of like a bastardization of the original trilogy, because it's like, can't you just let a story just end? Like, why do we have to rehash this again? And I think the storytelling compared to the first trilogy to now this new series or universe where the new people are doing COD, that I don't know, I don't really like that. That's just not something that I like, because I think it's just a little bit lazy, and it's not really respecting the original work, because I seriously don't think that it respects the original work at all. Yeah, man, gaming is so dead. It's so dead, but it's not entirely dead, alright? There are plenty of games out there that are good. You just have to be a lot more delicate when trying to find a decent game. I think you're going to find decent games in the indie scene and the, I guess you would say, AA game industry, not the AAA. I think AAA is so oversaturated, and so they've become far more complacent and more politically driven than ever before, which causes them to just stagnate and not improve at all. And they have these overbloated budgets that just don't do anything. They just make the games more expensive. And talking about expensive games, fuck me. What's with Grand Theft Auto and the CEO desiring to push for the $100 game? The $100 game. Really? The $100 game? No. Why the fuck would you want to make a game $100? For what reason? Other than to just essentially stab you in the alley and just rob you of all that you're worth. Fucking man. Fuck, man. It's terrible. It's bullshit. Why should the players have to take on the cost of your poor spending? Why should the player have to take on the cost of just bad management? Because that's what it is, really. It's greed and bad management. Bad allocation of resources. Like, look at EA. Like, EA fucking is sucking dick. Same with Ubisoft. Like, they cannot make games that are profitable. Because why? There's too much fucking money in them. Just look at the budgets for all these games. Look at the budget at, like, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Look at the budget at Veilguard. Holy shit. You put this much money for a mediocre game that would have been, like, pretty decent or okay. Like, it would have been, like, still shit, but it would have been acceptable in, like, the early 2000s. But gaming has advanced so much that this isn't good enough for a AAA studio. That's not enough. That's not enough. It's not enough. And I don't know why, games journalists are trying to justify shit taste. These games suck ass. These games are big ass. They're not fucking good at all. And I'm tired of being lied to that I'm somehow a piece of shit because I just don't enjoy it. How am I going to enjoy something that just has shit gameplay? It's shit. It's been the same thing. Like, especially for, like, Ubisoft, for the Assassin's Creed games. It's been a decade. A little over a decade of fucking doing this. The same shit. And there hasn't been really much change to the formula. And the storytelling isn't much better either. So why the fuck would I be interested in buying another Assassin's Creed game? It's just not something I fucking am particularly interested in. It's just bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Man. But, again, I'll say this again. Just, you have to be far more picky nowadays. I don't think gaming's dead, but you have to be far more picky nowadays when it comes to looking for a good game. You gotta take a real hard look at some of the games that are on offer, and I would say Eastern developers are far more better, though not always. I'm looking at you, Elden Ring, with the Game Award for a fucking DLC. That's not cool. Why the fuck would I want to select a DLC for the Game Awards? That's not a game, that's just a DLC. That's bullshit. That's stupid. And I don't think the DLC for Elden Ring was really worth it, though, again, people can argue with me. I don't think it was bad, but I think people are kind of overhyping the Elden Ring DLC a little bit too much. They overhyped it a little bit too much. So you got the Eastern developers, which, again, it's a hit or miss thing, but you're going to have a better chance with that. And the smaller indie developers and the AA studios are probably going to be your best bets in finding, like, decent games to play. And obviously, you have me, the fuckwit junior, with the gacha gaming, which I get it. All right, it's not for everyone. All right, I'm a nerd. I'm a big fat nerd. So don't be too critical of me, all right? I'm not like a fucking raging gamer elitist. I'm just saying that, a lot of games nowadays are really dog shit. And I don't think gaming's dead, though. I think that's a little bit too hyperbolic, but it's certainly the gaming market's going to crash if we're all being honest here. It's going to crash. It's going to collapse. And when that does, oh boy, there's going to be real hell to pay. Real shit to go on there. It's going to be the next apocalypse, my guy. But I'm in it for the long run, bros. I'm in it. It's not over, bros. Something will happen. All right, my gamer chuds. It will happen. I feel dirty whenever I say that. But, I think that's enough rambling for me for one day. So, thank you for listening, and I'll be uploading in probably a weekly sort of thing. But Thanks for listening so much.